Thank you all for listening and watching my videos. Please subscribe and like my channel Master Coolitz. Hoping that you will not skip my ads. It's a big help for me by not skipping it. Thank you so much. Dragon Shadow. The Rise.
Outside the door of Scarlett's room, Greta anxiously informs Mr. Evan Blackwood.
She's attending to something important inside and said not to disturb her, no matter what happens. Please wait for her out here for a little while longer.
You're just a lowly servant. How dare you talk to my young master in this tone?
To come to the Wise Mansion to look for her. Yet she doesn't appreciate that at all and expects me to wait longer?
Mr. Evan Blackwood, I don't know, really. I only know my young lady is at the most critical moment during her cultivation. If we barged into her room, I'm afraid she might be enraged.
So what if Scarlett is the talent of the Zan sect? That doesn't make her any better. I don't care about how gifted or powerful she is. She is still my fiancée. Hurry and inform Scarlett to stop her cultivation and come out to see me. Otherwise, I will kill you now.
The intimidating aura of the young man in the third stage of the advanced level pressed down on Greta.
You're over your head to go against my young master's orders, and this is what you get for doing that.
He reprimanded her before knocking Greta unconscious. Evan Blackwood orders the other servants in a cold voice.
What are you looking at? Hurry up and tell Scarlett to come out to meet me, or you will all end up like her.
The door to Scarlett's room opened, and Zane Martell steps out, leaving Evan Blackwood dumbfounded. Recovering from his shock, he accused Zane Martell.
You bastard! What were you doing inside Scarlett's room? Damn it! I've never gotten the chance to go inside her room, yet you're now walking out of her room. You'd better tell me what you were doing inside, or I'll torture you so much you'd wish you were dead. Also, Scarlett, you're my fiancé. How could you go inside your room with a stranger when we're yet to get our wedding? You slut. You've tainted the Blackwood family's reputation. How should I go out there and meet people?
Hey, you've been talking non-stop since I stepped out of the room. It's annoying. Are you a dog watching her room? Also, who are you to bother with the relationship between Scarlett and me?
The tension between Evan Blackwood and Zane Martell escalated, setting the stage for an explosive confrontation.
Why are you so bothered about what happened outside? Do you want to know? Fine, I'll tell you.
Zane Martell deliberately provoked Evan Blackwood, knowing the truth would infuriate him.
We were inside alone and she took off her shirt. Do you want me to elaborate more?
Technically truthful but misleading, he explained.
Evan Blackwood, our marriage is decided by our parents, but I never acknowledged you as my fiancé. We will never work. Also, Larry Shaw is my friend, so you'd better show him some respect.
How dare you? This is outrageous. You're cheating on me with him. Scarlett, if it weren't because you have some great looks, a status in the Zan sect that isn't too low, and if you weren't dying, I wouldn't have set my eyes on you.
Who are you? I can't hear a thing you said. I only hear a dog barking.
You don't even know my name. I am from the Blackwood family, which is among the 10 most prominent families in Eastern Palm. My father is the deacon elder of the Zan sect. Are you scared now that you know my background?
Ha ha ha. I thought your father was someone important, but he's only a deacon elder. I normally don't take deacon elders seriously. Similarly, I don't take good for nothing seriously too.
How dare you call me a good for nothing? I'll kill you today. No, I will torture you so much that you wish I would just kill you off. You will regret calling me that.
With a surge of anger, Evan Blackwood attacks Zane Martell. But the tables quickly turn as Zane Martell retaliates, sending Evan Blackwood crashing into the wall with a powerful blow. Stunned and bloodied, Evan Blackwood's pride shattered as he realizes the extent of Zane Martell's strength.
Impossible. No way. How could a bastard like you have such strength?
Scarlett did not know Zane Martell's actual skills. She believed he was no ordinary character when he had the guts to provoke the Goodwill sect. As Zane Martell effortlessly overpowered Evan Blackwood, confusion clouded the minds of those witnessing the scene. Larry Shaw's sudden display of power left everyone stunned, including the hawk-nosed old man and the servants.
Haha, so this is what you call being powerful? What a rookie. Do you know who is the useless one now between you and me? I'm really curious to know. Given your mediocre skills, where did you find the courage to claim Scarlet as your fiancée?
Zane Martell's confidence stemmed from his observations of Scarlet's strength during her earlier bout in the ring. He knew she could easily defeat Evan Blackwood. Trapped in the wall, Evan Blackwood fumed with rage, demanding assistance from the others.
Are you done watching? Don't you see me stuck here? Come and pull me out.
Quickly complying, they rushed to help Evan Blackwood out of his predicament. Amused by the spectacle, she chuckled at Evan Blackwood's misfortune, further infuriating him. Evan Blackwood was determined to assert his dominance. He pointed at Zane Martell, vowing,
Damn you bastard! I must kill you today! I must kill you!
Zane Martell, unfazed by Evan Blackwood's threats, responded with mockery.
Kill me? How are you supposed to kill me with your laughable skills? Are you intending to kill me by cursing at me? That's funny.
Evan Blackwood, angered by Zane Martell's dismissive attitude, ordered his henchmen.
Mr. Tobo, kill him. Chop off his head and hang it by the city's entrance for everyone to see.
Mr. Tobo complied with his master's command. Scarlet, concerned for Zane Martell's safety, warned,
Be careful, Zane. Mr. Tobo may not be from the Zan sect, but he is powerful. Do not underestimate him.
Zane, confident in his abilities, scoffed at Mr. Tobo's threat.
Underestimate me? Ha! It is his honor to be killed by me when he's only at the second stage of the advanced level.
As Mr. Tobo attacked with his sword, Zane swiftly blocked the blow with his own weapon, demonstrating his prowess. The clash sent shockwaves through the air, leaving Mr. Tobo shaken by Zane Martell's strength. Evan Blackwood, frustrated by Mr. Tobo's failure to defeat Zane Martell, threatened his henchmen with dire consequences if he didn't succeed. However, Mr. Tobo was troubled by the realization that Zane Martell is no ordinary opponent. Despite Zane Martell's formidable skills, he still faced a daunting challenge against Mr. Tobo, who wielded the power of the fourth stage of the advanced level. With an onslaught of sword energy, Mr. Tobo launched a relentless attack aimed at Zane Martell's demise. Zane Martell, unfazed by the barrage of strikes, countered with swift and precise movements, shattering Mr. Tobo's sword energy with ease. In a decisive move, Zane Martell's relentless assault overwhelmed Mr. Tobo, leading to his demise. The sudden silence that followed left everyone in shock, with Scarlet and Evan Blackwood dumbfounded by Zane Martell's display of power. Evan Blackwood, fearful for his life, desperately tried to distance himself from Zane Martell, realizing the danger of provoking him. Scarlet calmly intervened. She advised Zane against killing Evan, recognizing the potential consequences of such an act. Evan, relieved by Scarlet's intervention, pleaded for his life, acknowledging his own wrongdoing and offering assurance that he wouldn't seek retribution for Mr. Tobo's death. Zane Martell relented to Scarlet's request. He refrained from further violence, demonstrating respect for her wishes despite his own grievances. As Evan Blackwood hastily retreated, Scarlet expressed her regret for involving Zane Martell in the conflict, vowing not to entangle him in her affairs with Evan Blackwood again.
Haha. He only has the guts, but not the brains. If he dares to cause me trouble, I'll find a way to deal with him. Don't worry. But then, if you want to completely separate the sword energy from your body, I think we will have to wait until we have break times in between the sect contest.
Zane Martell smiled. It would take a lot of time to entirely separate the sword energy, and since they had to focus on the sect contest, they could only wait until after the battle rounds. Scarlet nodded gratefully.
Sure, I'll have to rely on you for that from now on.
After which she lowered her head and shyly bowed to Zane Martell. Not long after, an angry roar could be heard inside the Blackwood family in the Imperial capital.
Ah! Damn it, damn bastard! That bitch! I must make them pay for this. Someone. Go investigate more about Zane Martell.
In the hall, Evan Blackwood's face was ferocious. He smashed everything. The servants beside him shuddered in fear and dared not disrupt it. Of course, Zane Martell was clueless about this scene, nor did he care. After stepping out of Scarlett's room, he walked out and stopped in his tracks as he stared into the depths of the Wise Mansion. Zane Martell thought to himself,
There must be something hidden there.
he must find a way to walk deeper during this period. After that, he left the Wise Mansion and returned to the courtyard in Dark Wolf Hall. The night passed without any unusual scenes. The contest on the next day was still focused on the elimination rounds. Since there were many contestants, they could only separate the elimination rounds into 3 rounds per day, and the entire elimination process would last for 4 days. Aside from the first day of the elimination round, Zane Martell did not bother watching the other battles. Instead, he stayed in the Dragon Prison for his cultivation. The bottleneck in Zane Martell's realm had gradually loosened after he had devoured many people's vital energy before this. On the 3rd day, in the Dragon Prison, Zane Martell swallowed dozens of celestial life pills in one go and broke through to the 3rd stage of the advanced level. In his energy center, the Sky Thunder Tree had completely turned golden and had some slight changes. Zane Martell was curious to find out how the Sky Thunder Tree would turn out in the end. Finally, it was the 4th day, and it was also the last day of the elimination rounds. Zane Martell and Katie went to the arena. Perhaps many people shared Zane Martell's thoughts. There weren't many audiences on the 2nd and 3rd days, but the audience was unusually packed on the 4th day. By the time Zane Martell made his way to the audience, the last round of the elimination battle had started, and it was during the climax. Among the contestants, a disciple wearing the Goodwill Sect's uniform caught Zane Martell's attention. The disciple held a sharp, long sword in his hand and blocked the siege of dozens of disciples from the Zan sect.
I was amazed at his overbearing sword energy. His swordsmanship was absolutely brilliant.
Autumn Water Sword.
A bright and dazzling sword energy directly swept over a dozen people surrounding him. With only one strike, his opponents were all knocked down. Blood streaks of varying sizes appeared on the bodies of the disciples of the Zan sect, and their expressions darkened.
Donovan, you are indeed powerful. No wonder you almost made it into the Zora Genius list back then.
A majestic young man stepped out of the group of injured disciples. This young man was also a disciple of the Zan sect. His cultivation had reached a frightening 4th stage of the advanced level, and it seemed like he had an esteemed status in the sect. The disciples around him saw him and reacted as if he were their savior. They were extremely excited and said,
Larkus. Finally, Larkus is here. This is great. I heard he was almost on par with Donovan before this, so I'm sure he can avenge us.
The disciples of the Zan sect, injured by Donovan, gritted their teeth and looked at Donovan with resentment. However, Donovan, the young man in the white shirt, remained indifferent. He said calmly,
Larkus, you were no match for me a year ago, and you're still no match for me today.
You will only find out about that after we fight. I've spent every day preparing myself for our fight today.
The magnificent young man named Larkus gritted his teeth and clenched his fists as he glared at Donovan. Donovan said coldly, and his eyes turned ruthless as he stared at Larkus again. It was as if Larkus was nothing in his eyes.
You're just an insect in my eyes, and you'll never reach the peak no matter how much you try. You are useless and can never knock down a tree like me.
Zane Martell, noticing this, started thinking.
I could not help but grow curious about Donovan's background.
His name is Donovan. He's the divine disciple of the Goodwill sect, and almost made his name on the Zora Genius list. He is the perfect definition of the talent of the Goodwill sect. His elder brother, Julian Flynn, is the top among the divine disciples of the Goodwill sect. I heard he already reached the 8th stage of the advanced level a year ago. He is even ranked among the Zora Genius list.
Ranked on the Zora Genius list? After I had elevated my realms and got in contact with more extraordinary experiences, I had a better understanding of this world. The land we were stepping on was known as the Zora Mountains, which belonged to the Mystic Territory. There were 72 countries in the Zora Mountains, including Lyran Kingdom, Yarrow Kingdom, Eastern Palm, and Northern Demon Country. Thus, Zora Mountains were also known as the 72 countries of Zora. Of course, the 72 countries were split into higher and lower levels. For the Seven Kingdoms Alliance, even a huge nation like Eastern Palm was only considered lowly in the Zora Mountains territory. The megaforce controlling the entire Mystic territory was known as the Wormhaven Palace. The Zora Mountains had established the Zora Genius List to cultivate more geniuses. Thus, every figure listed on the Zora Genius List was extraordinary among their peers. It was no exaggeration to call them geniuses among the geniuses. Although Eastern Palm was powerful, Julian Flynn was the only person in Eastern Palm who made it to the Zora Genius List. This fact alone was enough to prove Julian Flynn's gifted talents and skills. Donovan was Julian Flynn's brother, so he would not be lacking too far behind his brother. I was taken aback. I could now absorb others' talent with my celestial body. But then, I knew my talents were nowhere near Julian Flynn's.
Meanwhile, in the battle ring, Larkus was flustered after being humiliated by Donovan. He roared and released a strong surge of vital energy. His vital energy condensed into an indestructible yellowish-brown armor that was as hard as a boulder.
It's the power of Earth. Larkus's power of Earth has reached the major completion realm, and it has been integrated into the Earth armor, an Earth-level cultivation method. It's done. We're winning for sure. No matter how powerful Donovan is, he will never be Larkus's match.
The Zansec disciples were thrilled.
Donovan, use everything you have to fight me.
Larkus roared. Then, like a violent demonic beast, a yellow light surged within his body as he rushed forward. A huge yellowish-brown fist condensed and emitted an aura as heavy as a mountain, which made people tense up at that. It was clearly the power of Earth. The attack slammed heavily from the sky, pressing straight on Donovan. However, Donovan sneered and gave him a disdainful look.
You don't deserve to get a taste of what I have. Larkus, you're not qualified for that. I'll fight you with 10% of my actual skills.
Donovan's long sword flickered, and his vital energy burst forth. A crystal sword energy that was hundreds of meters long shot out and collided with the fist. The air blast rolled, and it was deafening. The wind and clouds surged within the arena, and the momentum reverberated throughout the arena. Then a scream was heard. Donovan's sword energy cut through Larkus's fist and slammed heavily on his earth armor. The earth armor was crushed like a piece of paper. Larkus himself was cut into halves and died in the battle ring.